Ever since I met Sarah, I thought I knew everything about her. We had this perfect marriage. At least I thought we did. We'd been together for over a decade and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. She was my rock, my best friend, my everything. But when she fell ill, everything changed. It all started with a cold that wouldn't go away. At first, I didn't think much of it, just another winter bug. But as the days passed, her condition worsened. I tried to convince her to go to the doctor, but she refused. She was always so stubborn, always saying she didn't need help. Then, one morning, she couldn't get out of bed. That's when I realized something was seriously wrong. I rushed her to the hospital. The doctors gave us the diagnosis a few days later. Cancer, advanced. And in that moment, my world crumbled. We didn't have much time left, they said. Maybe a few months, maybe less. I was numb. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I couldn't even cry. All I could do was sit there, holding her hand, knowing that time was running out. She wasn't the same person anymore. She was frail, quiet, distant. And during those last months, I began to notice something strange, a secret she was hiding. As the days went by, Sarah became more and more withdrawn. She was still the same loving woman I married, but there was something different about her. She wouldn't talk about her illness. She wouldn't talk about the future, and she wouldn't let me in. It was like she was pushing me away, like she was trying to protect me from something. I tried to reach out, asking her what was going on, but she just smiled softly and told me, "It's nothing. I'm just tired." But deep down, I knew something was wrong. She was hiding something from me, and I couldn't figure out what. I spent hours just watching her sleep, her fragile body lying still in bed. I would stare at the wedding ring on her finger, wondering how much time we had left together. I kept thinking about all the things I wanted to say, all the things I wanted to ask, but she never seemed to want to talk. Then, one night, while she was asleep, I heard her muttering in her sleep. It wasn't unusual for her to talk in her sleep, but this time, the words were different. She said something about a man, a name I didn't recognize. It was just a whisper, but it was enough to make my heart race. I couldn't make out the full sentence, but I could hear the fear in her voice. The next day, I tried to ask her about it, but she quickly shut me down. "I was just dreaming. Don't worry about it," she said. But there was something in her eyes that told me it wasn't just a dream. I couldn't let it go. I had to know what she was hiding. A week later, Sarah's condition deteriorated even further. I knew time was running out, but there was something more pressing on my mind now. What was she hiding from me? That night, while Sarah was resting, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the name she muttered in her sleep. I knew I had to find out more. I decided to go through some of her things. I hated the idea of invading her privacy, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was missing something crucial. I wasn't sure what I was looking for, but my gut told me that if I didn't find out, I'd regret it forever. I started in the drawer where she kept her journals. I found a small leather-bound notebook, but nothing stood out. I flipped through the pages, reading about her thoughts and feelings during our early years together, our struggles, our triumphs. But then, towards the back, I found something that made my blood run cold. A letter. It was sealed with a wax stamp and my name was written on the front. My heart started pounding in my chest. Why had she kept this from me? What was it about? I hesitated for a moment, staring at the envelope. I didn't know if I should open it, but I knew deep down that I had to. I carefully tore the envelope open, my hands shaking. Inside, I found a letter written in Sarah's neat handwriting. It was short, but to the point, and as I read it, my world was turned upside down. As I read the letter, my heart sank. It wasn't just a letter, it was a confession of something Sarah had kept from me for years. To my dearest, the letter began. By the time you read this, I will be gone. But there is something I must confess, something I should have told you long ago. I never meant to hurt you, and I never wanted to keep this from you. But I did. I had no choice. There's someone else, someone I've been seeing for years. It's not what you think, and it's not a simple affair. This person is someone I met long before you, someone I loved deeply, and someone I was forced to let go of. But I couldn't forget him. And now, I've kept this secret from you, knowing how much it would hurt. But the truth is, I can't take it to my grave. I don't expect you to forgive me. I only want you to know that I love you. Always have, always will. But this man, this secret, it's something I couldn't run from. Please, forgive me. As I finished reading, the room felt like it was closing in on me. I dropped the letter, my hands trembling. Who was this person? How could she have kept this from me? And why had she waited until now to tell me? I couldn't believe it. The woman I thought I knew, the woman I loved, had been keeping this huge part of her life hidden from me. And I had no idea who this person was. I sat there, staring at the letter in disbelief. My mind was racing. How had I been so blind? How could Sarah, my wife, have hidden something like this from me for all these years? I needed answers, and I needed them now. I couldn't just let it go. There had to be something more. Sarah had never mentioned this other person, not once. I thought back to all the times she'd been distant, those moments when I felt like there was something she wasn't telling me. Could it have been him? The man she wrote about in the letter? I decided to go through more of her things. I wasn't proud of it, but I needed to know. I had to know the truth. I searched through her drawers, her closet, everything. And then, in the back of a drawer that I had never noticed before, I found it. A small, worn-out photograph. It was a picture of Sarah smiling, her arms wrapped around a man I didn't recognize. They were standing in front of a beach, their eyes locked in a way that I had never seen between us. It was a photo I'd never seen before, and I could feel the heat rising in my chest as I stared at it. Who was he? Why hadn't she ever told me about him? I turned the photograph over, and there, written in her handwriting, was a name I'd never heard before. Liam Westbrook. I had no idea who this man was, but I knew one thing. He was someone important to Sarah, and if I was ever going to understand what had really been going on, I had to find out more about him. The name on the back of the photo haunted me. Liam Westbrook. I had to know who he was, why he meant so much to Sarah, and why she kept him hidden from me. I immediately turned to the internet. I searched for any mention of Liam Westbrook, anything that could lead me to him. It didn't take long before I found a public record, an obituary. It was dated only a few months before Sarah passed. Liam Westbrook died unexpectedly of a heart attack. My stomach dropped. Could it be the same person? I couldn't believe it. But there was more to the story. The obituary mentioned that Liam had been a successful business owner living in the same town as us. He was well known and well liked. But there was one more detail that caught my attention. The obituary also mentioned his wife. She was listed as a survivor. It made no sense. If Sarah had been in a relationship with him, why hadn't I known? Why would she keep this a secret from me, especially after his death? I couldn't stop thinking about it. I had to know more about Liam, about their connection. So, I made a call. I reached out to a few old contacts, people I thought might have known Sarah and Liam. A few hours later, I had a name: Jessica Westbrook, Liam's widow. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Was there more to this story? Was Sarah involved with Liam even after his death? I needed to speak to Jessica. She might know something that could finally explain everything. I didn't waste any time. I called Jessica Westbrook, and after a few rings, she answered. Her voice was calm, but there was an underlying tension in it, like she knew exactly who I was and what I wanted to ask. Hello? Hi, Jessica. My name is John, and I was married to Sarah. I'm hoping you can help me. I recently found out about a man named Liam Westbrook, and I think you might be able to shed some light on what's going on. There was a long pause on the other end. When she spoke again, her voice was shaky, as though she was trying to keep her emotions in check. Liam, he was more than just a man to Sarah. He was the man, but not in the way you think. We didn't know each other, not at first. But then, Sarah came to me, asking for my help. She said she needed to make things right before it was too late. She was trying to fix her past. You see, Sarah had been in love with Liam for years. But it wasn't just love. It was dangerous love. It had been a secret affair, one that nearly destroyed both of their lives. The words hung in the air, and I could hardly breathe. Liam died unexpectedly, yes, but before he passed, he told Sarah something. He said he needed her to finish what he started. Sarah promised him she would, and that promise was her dying wish. She left me with a mission that would explain everything. My mind was spinning. A mission? What do you mean? Jessica's voice softened. She didn't just leave you the letter, John. She left you something much more important. You were supposed to find the truth, to uncover the real secret of their love story. And when you did, you'd understand why Sarah kept it hidden. But more than that, she wanted you to know that even though she loved you, there was a part of her that would always belong to him. She couldn't let go, and that's the part she was asking you to forgive. She wanted to set you free, and herself too. I was stunned. A million emotions hit me all at once. What I had thought was a simple love story had turned into something much darker, much more complicated. And then it hit me. The truth I'd been looking for wasn't just about the secrets Sarah kept, but about the parts of her I would never truly know. If this story shocked you as much as it shocked me, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that will leave you questioning everything. What do you think about Sarah's secret? Was it something she could have ever truly kept hidden? Share your thoughts in the comments below.